Hey there everybody, it's Lance with Love to Hate, back again with another video in our series of videos showing you some of the newer games that I played while I was at BGG Con 2021 in Dallas, Texas. And in this video I'm going to show you Mandala Stones by Philip Głowacz, and this comes from Board and Dice. It's 2 to 4 players, takes about 30 minutes, ages 10 and up. This is an abstract strategy game. There's not really any theme in this game. This is a tile placement pattern building game in the same vein as Azul or Sagrada, and if you are familiar with those games, then you will sort of feel like this has the same type of feel as those types of games. What you're going to do on your turn, you're going to pick up one of those tall black cylinder pieces that you see there on the main board in the middle that are surrounded by all the different colored circular pieces, and you're essentially going to move that to a new spot on that main board. And each one of those black cylinder pieces has a design on the top of it. There's two different designs, two for one type of design and the other two share the other type of design. And all of those colored pieces also have one of the two designs on them as well. Well, wherever you place that black cylinder, you're going to collect the top tiles of each of the stacks that are adjacent to that black cylinder that share the same design as that black cylinder, so long as they're not touching a different black cylinder. Now, if you're really confused at this point, don't worry, you're not alone. The mechanics in this game are not super intuitive. And get this, I'm not done yet. Once you decide which of those tiles you can take, you have to decide which one you're going to take first, because from that point forward, moving clockwise around the black cylinder, you pick up all the pieces that you're eligible to take. And the last one you take is what goes on top of the stack that you place on your player board. As you can see right there on my board, I've got some stacks that are there, pink and purple stacks. And so that's important because when you go to score your stacks, you have to take off the top tile of each stack that you're going to be scoring, and those tiles have to be the same color. So you're trying to make sure that the stacks have mostly all the same color so that you can score the most points whenever you are scoring. And so that's how this game works. It's all about trying to strategically place those black cylinders to pick up the right tiles that work best for you, doing so in such an order that you get the same type of color on top of your stacks so that you can score the most points when you score. That other board there to the left where you can see that we have our Mandala Stones that we are scoring, that's the Mandala board, and it's essentially a game end tracker where you are placing your scored tiles, and there are set bonus points at periodic intervals throughout the course of the game. And you can see there that there are end markings for 2, 3, and 4 player games. Now, the bright spots for this game for me are that it's an enjoyable 2-player experience. It has some back and forth of placing those black cylinders, which are called artists, by the way, not that that's very important. But you're trying to place those in good spots, trying to keep your opponent from getting the tiles that they need, while at the same time preserving some of the spots for yourself where you might get some tiles on a future turn. And you're also trying to time your scoring to get those bonus points on the Mandala board. Another bright spot, this has a beautiful look to it. It looks very welcoming. The board's not busy or intimidating. It does look very welcoming to players who might be passing by or be interested in looking at it if you had it at home. And also, it has a great length for this type of game. 30 minutes is perfect for this game. This is one of those abstract strategy games that doesn't have any theme to it. And so the pull to this is going to be that mechanic of placing those black cylinder artist pieces, and that has about a 30-minute length of time for it being on your table. It's not too long or too short for you. Some of the negatives, though, I don't think I'd really want to play this game much at 3 or 4 players. As you can probably pick up, the board changes pretty dramatically in between turns. After you've taken your turn and your opponent takes theirs, the board's going to look completely different, and so your plans are going to go out the window quite often in this game. And in a 3 and 4-player game, that's going to just magnify that issue. So I really would think I would only want to play this at 2 players. Another huge negative for me on this game is the clunky rules. If you were really confused as I was explaining to you how this game plays, then you kind of know what I'm talking about with this. The rules are pretty clunky. It's not an elegant process, and just doesn't really seem to flow all too well. Overall, Mandala Stones is a game that feels like it's trying to be Azul-like, but it's not as smooth as Azul. It's not as an enjoyable game as Azul. It is a quick game, which is a plus, and it's beautiful, and so that will attract players to your game table. Just make sure that it's not more than 1 person, as you probably don't want to play this with more than 2 players. I give it a 6.9 out of 10, which means that it's a game for me that I'd like to play. It's one that I'll try out if you bring it over to game night. It's not one that I think that I'm going to keep on my game shelf or go out and purchase myself. Let me know your thoughts on Mandala Stones. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, make sure to click that bell, subscribe, and hit the like button. I'm Lance. This is Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.